Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at the 2 to 4 player game, Kingdomino Origins, where you're going to try to create your own domain and make it better than any of the other opponents. Let's see if you can do that. We're going to go ahead down to the table here, and I'm going to give you a general overview of how to play this game, and then we're going to come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is Kingdomino Origins, and in Kingdomino Origins you're going to have up to 4 players, and each player is going to get 2 of these little cavemen. And for now, just to keep things simple, I'm just going to put one out. So I'll put this one out. So you'll get your little hut, and you'll get your little starting tile. You'll place those on there, and you'll get your 2 cavemen. And you have ones so you can show what you're on and where you're going if you want. But anyway, you'll set up 2 rows here, and you'll put them in numerical order, starting from the lowest number to the highest number. You'll randomly pick who's going to go first, and for the first turn go in clockwise order, and flip these tiles over. Now, if you play Kingdomino before, you'll pick up on the first mode of Kingdomino Origins pretty quickly. So basically all you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these tiles. So each player is going to pick one of these tiles. And then after everyone's done that, you put out a new set of row here, and then you'll flip them over. Now, starting from the top to the bottom, players are going to go in order to pick a new tile. So they'll pick what they want. This tile will go into their area. Now, with Kingdomino, tiles have to be placed so at least one side is going to be touching another of the same terrain type, with the exception of the middle hut here that is considered wild. So when I place one here, let's move these all over here so you can see a little better. I can place it anywhere where it touches my hut because that's all wild. Let's get this guy out of the way for now. Other rules for placement is you're trying to create a 5x5 grid, so you can't go any more, and this is 2 spaces, any more than 5 spaces across or 5 spaces high. So you have to keep that in mind when you're picking your tiles. Now in Kingdomino, they had little castles that would show the multiplier, but in Kingdomino Origins, you have fire. So at the end of the game, when you do the scoring, what you're going to be doing is you're going to count all the touching areas, and then you're going to multiply it by the number of fires that are in the area. There's another special token here, which is going to be the volcano. You're going to look at how many openings the volcano has, and that's which flame token you're going to pick. So if I place that here, you're going to look at these flame tokens. When you have a flame token, so like this will be one of the things you can use as a multiplier for a region there. On the back, it's going to show how many spaces away from the volcano it can be. Now, this actually works where if it's a 1 fire, it's 3. If it's a 2 fire, it's 2. And if it's 3 fire, it's 1. So I can go up to 3 spaces away and place this flame token. It has to be placed for the original one. Doesn't matter so much. But it has to be placed where it doesn't have other things on it. So this mode here, this is pretty much Kingdomino with the addition of the volcanoes, which is really nice. So you'll continue on doing this until everyone has had enough that they could have completed their 5x5 grid. So you'll run out of these tiles throughout the game, and then the game will end. And like I said, at that point, you can use the scoring pad here to score up your points, and the person with the highest points wins. So that's the first mode of Kingdomino Origins. There's also a secondary mode that you can play with this game, and that is called the totem mode. And simply you're just going to go ahead and incorporate these little tokens in the game. Now, some of these tiles, which don't matter in the first mode but matter now, have these little symbols on here. And when you place a tile in your area with that little symbol, you will get the matching little tokens for your area. And the goal of this mode of the game is going to be able to have the most of stuff, because what you're going to have in this totem mode is you're going to have 4 different goals here. So whoever has the most mammoths at the end of the game will get 3 points. Whoever has the most of these arrowheads gets 6 points at the end of the game. Whoever has the most of, what are these things? Oh, fish, yes. Get 4 points, and whoever has the most mushroom gets 5 points by the end of the game. So you're trying to get these bonus tiles. So in addition to your normal scoring for Kingdomino Origins, you're going to also score where you'll get points for these, and you'll get 1 point for each of these tokens. Now, with the volcano here, if I would have placed my fire here, if you place fire anywhere where there's a token, the token is lost. And that's it for the secondary mode that you can play with Kingdomino Origins. You can play with these in here. The last mode of the game is known as the tribe mode. So you'll keep these flame tokens, you'll keep these tokens, you're going to get rid of these, and you're going to have a market. Now with a market, you can spend any 2 of these tokens here and get anything along here. And these will do different things throughout the game, or not throughout the game. When you place them in an area here, you will be able to score for what they say. This one here says for each of the places with any of these resources around this caveman, you'll get 2 points each. Some simply, if I place this here, I will gain 2 points. And the last thing is I need to mention with these warriors here, where you just simply get some points on here. If I place this warrior and then I get another 2-point warrior or whatever beside it, or another warrior beside it, they actually multiply. So for every warrior that I have, so if I have 3 warriors in a row, I take these points and multiply it by 3. If I have 2, I multiply it by 2. That's it for that last mode. Those are 3 different modes available for Kingdomino Origin and how they work. Let's go ahead back up to the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Kingdomino Origin. I like almost all the blue-orange games, and this is no exception. This is a wonderful game. This is a wonderful family weight game, and I think this is like the complete Kingdomino experience. So unlike the original Kingdomino, where after a while it gets a little samey and it can fall a little flat, because there's a lot into what tiles you pick and how you build your domain and watching other people play their domain, but it's just, that's it. There's not much more in the Kingdomino, but this does add, just adding that little volcano makes a huge difference, because that gives opponents a little more strategy. They can pick where they put those flames if they want to get those tokens that have the volcanoes on it, so they can either recuperate some of the points that they would have lost because they didn't have any flame tokens in the region, or sort of add more points, more multiplicative points to an area where they have a lot. So there's a lot of picking and choosing they can do in there, and a lot of strategy they can employ instead of just looking at the tiles and then where you're going to place them. You can also sort of maybe fix your mistakes or gain more. I like the other 2 modes in here. The third mode feels a lot like Kingdomino, which is really nice. So you can go from like a super simple game, which is going to be the first mode, that's super easy to teach and you can get up and going really quick. And the third mode is not hard to teach either, but it just adds that extra layer of strategy when you put those little tiles on the board that do different things and different scoring points. Just a great game. I like the Kingdomino line. It's great. This is, I think, the best of the Kingdomino line. Not only just because of those volcanoes I mentioned, but because of the 3 different modes, and you can have all that variety in this game. It's really, really nice to keep it alive and keep it fresh, and keep playing with the same people if you want, because you can have so much variety. And again, it has a nice advantage that Kingdomino had. It's really nice to get new players into the hobby because it's super easy to teach and it's a lot of fun. So it has that going for it too. So that's my thoughts on Kingdomino Origins. Thank you for watching.